Hello and welcome to another edition of Debatable here on GodIsGeek.com. My name is Colm, and there's a bit of a pattern forming. The past couple of weeks I spoke about Far Cry 4, I spoke about Assassin's Creed Unity, and this week I'm talking about Watch Dogs. But this week, I'm bringing that super hot fire. Certain American TV networks are not too keen on foul language. When bringing movies from the big screen to the goggle box, they might edit out certain words that may offend their audience. For example, in the famous lineup scene in The Usual Suspects, rather than hear Verbal Kint dryly say, "Give me the keys, you fucking cocksucker," you hear "Fairy Godmother." Likewise, one of the most famous lines in cinema is when John McClane utters the words "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." Instead of leaving the movie as it is and giving TV viewers the same experience as movie goers, McClane says "Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon." Alan Rickman's character, the bad guy, is called Hans Gruber, not Hans Falcon. Both are examples of movies with bad TV ports, if you will. Watch Dogs was the video game that had people rushing out to their local video games retailers to pre-order new Xbox Ones and PS4s back in September and October. PC players were upgrading their rigs to see Ubisoft Montreal's beautiful Chicago as only a PC can. This was going to usher in the next generation of games in style on launch day. Then it got delayed. When it was released on 27th of May, it was very well received, getting a Metacritic score in the late 70s and early 80s depending on your platform of choice. It's such a shame then that the PC port is atrocious, isn't it? On October 15th, Ubisoft released a statement announcing the aforementioned delay, a month prior to the game's scheduled release date. The reason behind it all was that they adopted the attitude that they will not compromise on quality, and going on to say, quote, "It became clear to us that we needed to take the extra time to polish and fine-tune each detail so we can deliver a truly memorable and exceptional experience." On launch day, those trying to boot up the game on Uplay were suffering multiple crashes or they couldn't log in. Not everyone, but enough people for the Watch Dogs Twitter account to address the situation. Their servers couldn't handle the amount of people trying to play the game. A game which was after getting a ton of press since 2012 and was arguably the game of 2014. But it's okay, because it'll look pretty, yeah? It doesn't look like shit, but it certainly doesn't look like the demo we saw at E3 2012. As this video by YouTube user Cartel Strims 369 demonstrates, there's quite a big difference between the finished product and what was shown off in that vertical slice from the Electronic Entertainment Expo back in 2012. Even with YouTube's compression settings, you can see a marked contrast between what was first shown and the game running on ultra settings on PC. As the PC community is known to do, someone has created a mod that implements the E3 2012 bloom along with a number of other features that makes the game look more like what we saw originally. But as Total Biscuit points out in his video on the matter, a mod or modification usually plays with the game's code to put something in there that was previously not, like, Thomas the Tank Engine. Because you see, after digging into the code, people saw that some hidden graphics files were present and have an E3 tag associated with them. Therefore, the nicer looking Watch Dogs is already there, but just not turned on. This forced Ubisoft to make a statement on the matter in which they categorically denied downgrading the open world title and also said that the PC version, quote, does indeed contain some old unused render settings that were deactivated for a variety of reasons, including possible impacts on visual fidelity, stability, performance and overall gameplay quality. In fairness, some reports do state that the Watch Dogs mod does affect performance greatly, whilst others say that the effect is pretty minimal. I'd love to be able to tell you how it looks, but I have no idea. Recently I joined the PC Master Race, and guess what my first big AAA game was going to be? I was excited! I had followed coverage of the game for 2 years and couldn't wait to eventually play as Aiden Pierce in his iconic baseball cap. But I can't. As of Sunday 22nd of June, my game consistently crashes on the loading screen after hitting continue game on the main menu. On random occasions it will actually boot, only to stall and crash again after approximately 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not an anomaly here either. Ubisoft announced Watch Dogs' first big patch that is said to address the niggling issues that so many people are facing on all platforms, PC included. The rollout has already happened on PlayStation platforms, with PC and Xbox supposedly getting the update over the next couple of days, maybe even by the time you watch this video. The first thing mentioned on the patch notes, the loading problem. The thing is, this patch is coming out almost 1 month after the game was released. So in other words, Ubisoft shipped a broken game and some people, me included, won't be able to play it until late June. A complete load of wank. This isn't new though. For years we've seen PC ports released and be absolutely terrible representations of the game they're meant to be. For instance, Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition was a buggy mess when it was released. Initially, the resolution was locked at 1024 by 720 before a modder came along. Developer From Software spoke with Eurogamer about the port and said that they were having a tough time developing for the platform. Producer Daisuke Uchiyama even said that specific areas of the game would contain the poor frame rate seen in the console version. Grand Theft Auto 4 released on PC and brought high-powered machines crashing down to earth because of its poor optimization and is considered to be one of the worst titles one can play on their desktop. And the list goes on. From Johnny Gat's adventures in Saints Row 2 to Leon Kennedy rescuing the American president's daughter in Resident Evil 4, we've seen this many times before Watch Dogs. And it is bullshit. You don't need me to tell you that. When you pay for a product, you at least expect that product to work as advertised. Watch Dogs has been through the ringer when it comes to criticism, and it's all just. Releasing a game with as many problems as seen reported by Watch Dogs users is bad business and results in disgruntled customers who will be forced to look elsewhere for their entertainment. I look at the patch culture sometime down the line because that is another branch on this oak tree of shittiness. I expect Bruce Willis to say yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, just as much as I expect Aiden Pierce to hack without any issues. However, because of poor optimization on what CEO Yves Guillemot once called Watch Dogs' lead platform, I haven't gotten what I should have: a functional video game. Whatever angle you look at, it's been a pretty botched launch for Ubisoft, because the game released to be pretty broken, buggy for a considerable portion of the audience, and also the game is drastically different from the thing we saw 2 years ago at E3. Drastically different. But maybe you completely disagree. You know, you maybe you're there at home playing Watch Dogs and thinking it's the best game of the year so far. And if that's the case, you know, fair enough. Hopefully I'll get to play it eventually. So please do actually let me know what it's like, because I have no idea. Literally no idea. But please do, yeah, as I said, if you disagree with anything I said, all the way throughout the episode, please let us know in the comment section of the article on the website, or the comment section of the YouTube video, or tweet me. Because everything I say on this show, and past shows, and future shows, well, it's just my opinion and my opinion alone. And as always, it's debatable. Now, sadly, we were actually going to introduce a new segment on the show this week, where, because I do always say, it's my opinion alone, and it's always debatable, and I want to hear from you. So, from next week on, I was hoping it was going to be this week, but there were some kind of technical issues. Do apologise. But please, any kind of comments that you say, whether you tweet me, or whether you do in the YouTube video, or on the article on the website, I'll feature the best comments, whether you do agree with me or not. So do get commenting, and you could be on a YouTube video. Hooray! Now, I'm going to bed because I'm very, very tired. I'm trying to figure out a fucking fix for Watch Dogs. Fucking Jesus.